Oh, how's that? Everybody hear me? All right, good afternoon. See how I do up here. I'm good. My name's Brian from Snohomish, Washington. I met the Bowmans 28 years ago up in the Yak. Went camping up there with my father-in-law every year. The first year we were up there, like I say, 28 years ago, this old cowboy comes into camp and kind of stands at the front of his truck and went out and asked what he wanted and got talking to him and where he lived and whatnot. And old guy always wore this old blue Carhartt jacket. That guy'd pull a beer out of there, have a beer, and finished it, and being the nice person I am, Larry, you want another beer? No, I got another one in here. And it was like a 12-pack later. I mean, those Carhartt vests have like an ice chest in them. The guy just pulled beer after beer out of there. So as years went by, second year he got a little closer to camp, third year a little closer. About the 8th year, he finally sat down at camp with us. We'd bring seafood from the coast, and we'd cook seafood and steak and drink his favorite whiskey. He always talked about Bubba. Bubba was his wife. So being from the coast, I'm thinking, here's Larry in Montana. He's got a wife named Bubba, and I'm picturing, a long dress, probably a mustache, and hair all messed up. And so finally Larry invites us to dinner one time. So come on down, Saturday night you guys are heading home to the coast. My wife, Bubba, she'll make us dinner. Perfect. So we come rolling in here, 3 of us, trucks and trailers and quads, and been up in the mountains for 2 weeks, looked like heck, and come walking in the house and meet Bubba. Well, here's Mrs. Bobby Bowman. And by the look in her eyes when Larry said, hey, I invited some friends over for dinner, she didn't have a clue the 3 of us were coming over for dinner. Yeah, she whipped up steak and potatoes, it was elk steak and potatoes and a salad and wine and more whiskey. And so as the years went by, they'd finally come up to the Yak and go camp and hang out with us. We'd quad and go all over the place and met numerous friends up there. And so it's been a fun ride with Larry. Bob as well. Love you both.
Hi, I'm Melinda Thompson, and I live just a couple of houses over, and I met Larry when I was about 15 when he was dating Bobby, and I used to go back and forth with him when he lived here and Bobby lived in Kalispell. I would go stay the weekend because Heidi and I met when just 10 or 11. Her dad and her mom, when they were married, built my aunt and uncle's house. So I met Heidi then on the construction site. But I would go back and forth, and then on Mondays, early in the morning, like 3:30 in the morning, we'd get up and we'd get in the truck and we'd beeline it back for Troy so he could go to work and I could go to school. And I was always respectfully afraid of Larry. He had that look, and I never wanted to disappoint him. And I never wanted him to give me that look like, you're such a dumbass. Shut up. And so we would come back. It's 3:30 in the morning. I'd fall asleep.
My name's Ron Ferguson. I live in Wiley City, Washington. Sorry about that. I don't know how to do this very good. Anyway, my story with Larry and Bobby Bowman. What am I doing wrong here? Anyway, my story with Larry and Bobby Bowman, I'm going to go through with it now. Anyway, I got picked to judge the rodeo here in Libby, Montana several years ago. And the other judge, Bob Burkhardt, maybe that's better, huh? Is that better? Anyway, the other judge, Bob Burkhardt, calls me up. That's the protocol. He was the crew chief, and I'd never met Bob before. And we called and make the coordination plans to come judge the rodeo. And he said, "Where are you staying?" I said, "Well, I don't know." He said, "I'll probably get a motel room." And he said, "Well, I got some friends that live up there close," and he says they got pretty good accommodations there. I'd never heard of Larry or Bobby Bowman before in my life. And then Bob says, let me talk to them and see if they got room for you." And so Bob calls me back in an hour or so. Says, "I got it all set up. You can stay there where I'm staying with the Bowmans. I got a place for you." Good deal. I don't know these people, but hey, that's a pretty nice deal. Don't got to buy a motel. A little more money in the wallet. So the point, and I came, and then I came and judged Libby probably 4 or 5 more times after that. It was understood. I was staying here. And the point of me telling this story is these people didn't know me from Adam. Bob didn't know me from Adam when he first talked to me on the phone. And I got the royal red carpet treatment. Somebody they didn't know. And I will remember that for the rest of my life. So very much appreciated.
And I was blessed because I had a bonus dad named Larry Bowman, and my real dad is here too, Ron Higgins. So I had 2 special people in my life. And Larry was, as you guys know, if you saw the picture in the paper, it was him driving a truck, and when he looked stern as hell, like his face and his cat. And that's how most of us saw Larry, but you knew that he had that wry sense of humor and would soon be cracking jokes and telling stories. And I've met several of you who've had work done by Larry in your driveways and rocks and things like that. And so I wanted to say thank you and echo my mom for coming out today. It is hard to be, I'm in Seattle, hard to be that far away, but I take great comfort knowing you all are here, and I know several of you drove a long ways to be here. So thank you for loving on Mom. And do you want to say anything, Jer? This is my brother, Jeremy.
Thanks, Heidi. Yeah, like Heidi, I was, blessed to have Larry as my stepdad. He taught me to rope. He taught me how to, him and my dad taught me how to hunt. And we spent many a time out in the woods together and hunting. And we spent when I was maybe around 12, 13, 14, we spent back-to-back years going into the Bob Marshall Wilderness. I learned a lot on those hunting trips, and really, was like Heidi, just blessed to have Cowboy as my stepdad. So, thanks everyone for coming. So.
My name's Linda Watson, and I'm Bobby and Larry's neighbor and best friend ever. And I walked up today earlier and saw the tribute to Larry, and boy, what he'd gone through in his lifetime. And what a gentleman, always a gentleman, and always happy. Everybody remembers his smile or his wave. He was the best waver.
Ladies and gentlemen, this past January, we lost a part of our rodeo family here in Libby, Montana, and Troy, Montana. The great cowboy, great friend, great patron of rodeo, my friend and your friend, Larry Bowman. Why, what the Heavenly Father. "68 years he was on this earth. Montana native. Born in Browning, Montana. Great athlete. Growing up there on the High Line. From there, Larry Bowman went on to serve the United States Armed Forces in the Army. And as John Smith comes around with the horseless rider, boots turned in backwards, we remember Larry. But I want to tell you more about his life. After high school, he went to serve in the Army, went over to Germany where he served. There he was in the military police. Funny story about Larry that was imparted to me by one of his good rodeo friends, that he knew Larry was a big man, big tough man, man's man. One time he had some rowdies and they put him in the brig there in Germany. They wouldn't be quiet. Old Larry stepped into the cell and he locked the door behind him. And he quieted down after that. That's how tough that man was. Come back here to Montana. Made a home in Troy. Was on the police force in Troy, Montana. Then after that, he went to work for the mine. But not soon after that, he met the love of his life, Bobby. And for the next 35 years, they built a life together. Built a family together. Went on to be a dad and grandfather. And lived and built memories with Bobby over those 35 years. He loved rodeo. You know, when he was in Germany, he rodeoed a little bit. Rode broncs, barebacks. He was so big and powerful, he could overpower them and get them rode. And he never forgot that passion for rodeo. Stayed in touch with it. It was part of our great rodeo here in Libby, Montana. Well, BK Construction came along. From the Kootenai River Stampede to Libby Rodeo, and over the years he stayed apart and really connected with us here. I have to tell you, I'm going to be a little selfish right now on behalf of John Smith, our rodeo contractor, and myself. Larry's the one that brought us here, got us involved in this rodeo. We've been over here for almost 2 decades now. Without Larry believing in John and I, we wouldn't be here. That says a lot about Larry Bowman, doesn't it? He was your friend, through thick and thin. And this rodeo wouldn't be what it is today without Larry's sacrifice, what he believed in. I know the members of the Bowman family are here tonight. Would you stand up right now? Right there. Right there. Bobby. We love you. We love Larry. How about that bucking horse tonight? You come out here and put on a show, didn't he? I guess I can end with this. I didn't come out with a script tonight. I just spoke from my heart. Larry's a man that I looked up to, respected Bobby, his whole family, and we're going to miss him dearly. I'll just end with this. We need more men in this country right now, like Larry Bowman. God bless Larry. God bless America. Give it up for Larry Bowman as we remember him tonight. To him,